Hi, everyone. For everybody who's coming for the first time, welcome. Um, yeah, so brilliant. Yeah, I've got a little confused right now. So I was saying, for everybody who's coming back, welcome again. Thank you for your attention and thank you for your comments for my last videos. What I prepared to talk today is something I think it's really important. This movement of the planet almost always bring us some kind of states of mind that we collectively interact with, and we manifest this states of mind like emotions and thoughts and patterns of thoughts and patterns of reaction among us. And that's why many things happen. Many things happen in each one of these kinds of astrological events. So what's coming up now? There's T-Square with Mars in one point, Pluto in the opposite, and Jupiter in the middle. So what is this? But before we go to this specific astrological configuration, I want to share with you what happened like 3 years ago in this fatal conjunction we found in this 2020 March of 2020. We had this, I will annotate here, we had this encounter. This was not a real big conjunction, because conjunction is when, like, for example, this sun and Neptune here, they are almost in the same degree, so we call it a conjunction. So when two planets are together. But we didn't have a real conjunction, but they got very close here as like in 500 years, more or less, as far as I knew at that time. I did a big investigation during 2019 to find it out. So it's something like 500 years before it was the last time this 3 or 4 planets got together. And we don't need to review what happened in 2020, right? So everybody knows, because it was something very global and different from, or in contrast with other times of our humanity. Things were more located like in different places, and sometimes in different times, like with a time lapse between one event to the other. But as we have now this global and very global community we reach now, we have to be very attentive to all of these combinations, like this full moon, that was a full moon here around March 9th here in 2020. So we had this full moon that like emphasized this encounter of those planets there, and it's very explosive. But as you may have already seen, we have the 3 planets here in conjunction. Okay, so what happened? What happens if we move this chart like one day after, one day we move like this, and then we see that and that encounter stays there for a while, then it dissolves. All right. So now let's see what happened when we move this sun months later. So all of those planets have already changed their positions. But if we go now to the day is 20, May is the month, 2023. Let's get back there. And let me erase these things and start again. What's happening now? we are having another encounter or another conjunction of aspects that comes from Mars, Pluto, and Jupiter in the middle. So they are encounter each other again, like 3 years later, because this is something that happens with Jupiter. Jupiter 3 years later makes like a square compared to the last position if it was. So we have now, among these days, we have this, what I was explaining to you, what is known as a T-square. What is a T-square? Is when we form this kind of T letter, the letter T here, with Mars in one position, Pluto in the opposite position, and in the middle of them we have Jupiter. So it makes just like a figure, more or less like this. We have Pluto here, Mars, and Jupiter in the middle. So this is almost precise 90 degrees. Oh, sorry, 90 degrees, 180 degrees here. So it's almost precise combination. So what does that mean? Enough image for now, right? So what does that mean? It means that we have a tension with those planets, and those planets have their own meanings by itself, but when they get this position, they create a tension between and among those archetypal principles that lives inside of us. So Mars is, everybody knows, the god of war, but Mars doesn't mean exactly war or aggression or aggressiveness. No, Mars means movement, right? And this movement that doesn't accept obstacles, doesn't accept blockage. So every time Mars, the archetypal principle, archetypic principle, sorry, this Mars, when goes in the direction of its objective, if it finds whatever it finds in the middle blocking the action to reach the objective, it becomes aggressiveness, right? But Mars is not aggressiveness per se. It means aggressiveness when this desire, this passion, this wish to reach a goal is blocked by something, whatever something it is in the middle, right? What does Jupiter means? Jupiter means the question about the limits, right? Jupiter means the way I think about what limits my life. And then it means this desire to go beyond the limits. This is what Jupiter means inside our psyche, inside our spirit. So in the mythology, Jupiter means always, I want more, I want more, I want to be the king, I want to be the best, I want more and more. So this is something we have inside, but it is very different from Uranus. That means a kind of free movement and free thinking that comes from the chaos, from chaotic activity that must face some kind of limits given by Saturn in order to exist. But Jupiter comes after the limit. So it questions the limit in order to go beyond the limits that were useful for some time. But after a time, Jupiter questioned this and, oh, no. This is too much limit. Let's expand it there or there or in some direction, and not like chaotic movement that's meant by Uranus. Okay, so we have this. So they are different, and we have to have it very clear, so we can make good conclusions, not right conclusions. There is no right and wrong. It's the good conclusions to how to deal with this Jupiter principle inside of us. Right. Now, Pluto. I have been talking about Pluto in some other videos, but I will give a very short explanation again because it's needed by now. Maybe one of you haven't seen still the other video like Pluto cycles, but if you have, if you are interested, if you feel like uh, have a visit there and watch that other video, and maybe you will feel like, oh, there's some things, interesting things here. You don't have to agree with me. We can begin a debate. I am completely free with this, and I love debates. I love discussion sometimes because from this we can, wow, reach higher and a more, we can expand our thinking about something like this. So let's get back to Pluto. Pluto means the desire of power. I want to have power. And when I move with power, I feel in a position that whatever I want, I can manifest. Not only whatever I want, but the kind of things I am identified with and has some kind of identification in the world outside, right? This is power, this is personal power. So Pluto means this desire, this wish to manifest my personal power. I want things and I manifest it. If my wanting is like identified in harmony with the environment, so my personal power manifests itself. So this is a very important thing, this identification and harmony with my environment, okay? The surroundings of my life. Good. Pluto then means that I want to know even the most hidden things in my environment in order to interact with this and manifest my personal power. Good. So this kind of researching, investigating the environment are Pluto too. So it means that dark part of power when I try to understand everything that's hidden in order to manipulate things, to facilitate my desire of personal power and manifest in whatever means what I want. So this is a kind of disharmony or a kind of unbalanced Pluto, because the balanced Pluto knows and identifies or find the identification of with my desire or adjust myself, like the alchemy I told the other video. So I alchemize my desire in order to become closer to the environment or the best options to the environment, to the surroundings. And then my personal power manifests as something very useful and beneficial to my environment. But when it's in balance, so what happened? I dominate and I try to subjugate. I try to control the world around. So, but this is a lack of harmony in this Pluto, right? Then let's move ahead. When it happens, when I feel that I have this power, I don't want to lose it. So I become afraid of losing this power and I begin to make games, power games, in order to guarantee that I will keep on having this power because I'm feeling so good with this. I'm feeling so like confident of myself. I am so feeling so assured of my position as a human, and then I begin to also I can enter in an imbalanced Pluto again, and then I become oppressive, manipulative, or like yeah, these two options. There's a third one, but my ADHD is not allowing me to recover the word. Okay, so let's go on. And what is Jupiter out of balance? A Jupiter out of balance is I want more and more and more and more and more, and I don't admit anything that is resting a little. I want to go ahead and expand my world as far as I can see and beyond. So this is an inharmony of Jupiter. Doesn't matter. It can happen to everyone, it can happen to me and to a whole society at the same time. So this explosion of this over desiring of expanding my world is something that's out of balance, because we have to breathe. I expand and then I rest. While I rest, I solidify things. This is happening. Okay, so I expand again and then I rest, and then things get more stable. I stabilize what I advanced before. Now, this is Jupiter out of balance. What is Mars out of balance? Is something that it can be quite destructive, and it loses one of the most important part of Mars. This laughing is the comicity, the humor, the good humor that is present in the god Ares in Greek mythology, like this kind of playful warrior. But this playful warrior in Greek and Roman mythology is represented by the athlete, someone who practiced some kind of sport. And so it's competing, it's kind of struggling, but it's full of joy. Okay, this is the best part of Mars. Okay, but Mars get angry and destructive. So if we have a tension between these three planets next weekend, like 2021, 2021, May 2021, 2023, for those who doesn't know. Sorry. If we have this there, everybody who is in whatever situation that can connect with this anger with Mars, strong desire with Jupiter, and power games Pluto, can enter in a escalator and a spiral escalating any one of them. So we can become brute, we can become aggressive, we can become destructive, we can become over controlling, and everything like that will manifest itself as an unbalanced behavior that like a contagious goes around and stressing other people, right? So the consequences of what's going to happen next weekend is something that we have to be very aware to reduce this power, to reduce this desire, and to reduce this aggressiveness or some kind of overreaction. Almost many people who is in a blink on overreaction, we will overreact next weekend. Okay, so don't accept this kind of emotions, this kind of an avalanche of emotions that comes out of almost out of nothing, out nowhere, out of the blue, that some overreaction could come out and bring some kind of strong disharmony in our surroundings, right? Then how can we help ourselves? How can we help, or how can we not control but regulate these emotions? One of the things is meditate a lot for this week, so we can separate ourselves from this eternal movement of the emotions, this motion, this motions inside of us that are the emotions that comes and go. Okay, so we have to prepare our mind and spirit to see those emotions coming and going without embarking them, without being like dragged by it. Okay. Then the second thing is therapy or talking and paying attention and reading and like increasing our vision of what's going on. One of the best things I usually do is not only meditating and consulting someone to talk about my emotions, but I usually use Jin Shin Jitsu, and you may find in my channel lots of suggestions of Jin Shin Jitsu. Jin Shin Jitsu is touching not this, but it's partly this, touching ourselves in some specific spots like this. And then we can feel our emotions going into harmony, re-harmonizing our emotions and our mental states in general. So you may find some of those videos, but you can look for this, what I call main center. Main central is a sequence of touchings in my body to keep in my center, not being like pushed and pulled by the emotions and so falling, overreacting all the time. So this week and the next week will be like a very, we will feel like in a point of burning or yeah, burning emotions inside of us. So if we give power to these emotions, we have no control, we have no regulation possible. So we must be aware of that to keep our peace and keep these emotions in its like a regulated position or regulated level, in order to keep on living with other people in peace or relative peace, and at the same time recognizing our mental states and interacting with this, interacting with other people, knowing that they could be feeling the same way I am. And so we can reduce the bad results from this or whatever inharmony we find among us as a collective human structure like we have. So this is the most important thing I wanted to tell you. And now let's look a little about the signs involved in it. Pluto is still in Aquarius. He's retrograding into Capricorn, but it's still in Aquarius. And Mars will be in Leo and Jupiter in Taurus. While being in this combination, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, we have to be attentive of pleasure and stability, Taurus, not going well, not getting along well with something Aquarian. Something Aquarian is fast forward, is the desire to understand almost everything and go to the brain, to mental activity, and a very creative activity that undermines stability, right? So one, like Jupiter, wants a little of stability by now, but is disturbed by this Pluto wanting the power of minds, the power of creative minds, power of innovating, of questioning and fighting against what is tradition. So it's in conflict with the desires of Jupiter. Jupiter wants to look to the tradition, look to stability, and look to pleasure and have pleasure during this time. Like this is a time of Jupiter entering Taurus. So our desire of expanding is expanding in the direction of stability, money too, stability, pleasure, and beauty. Everything is, all of these concepts are developed by Taurus, like Jupiter in Taurus. But Pluto is still connected with this wanting of exploration, freeing our curious mind to go beyond what is known, to find it out more and more, and to investigate. And from this investigation, innovate something, create something completely new for now. And this is the desire of power. I want to have my mental creative power to revolutionize the environment I am. So it goes against the desire of Jupiter. So we create this tension inside of us. Now, Leo. Leo is not ego. No, 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 no. Leo is the wish to become so magnetic, so attractive, so charismatic, that I can unite people, gather people around me, and then point something to a goal, for example, and reach this goal together. So this goal can be beneficial to everybody who's part of this group. This is Mars in Leo. But the Aquarian mind is not so interested in reunite people and everybody gets in the same direction. No, Aquarius wants to unite people, but everybody wanting and following its own desire, its own objective, its own goal, but not unite everything and go to one direction. This is from an Aquarian point of view, this is lacking authenticity, lacking independency, lacking my individuality. So it's tension for an Aquarian mind, an action that gets everybody together to reach one goal, a goal that could serve to everybody. So this is the tensions that will come to our minds and to our emotions during this week and the next one. So we have to be very aware and conscious about what's going on, so we can see when we pass a threshold of healthy attitudes to other people. So I have to manifest at least a little of finding common ground and common goal, right? And at the same time, keeping my sense or my sensation of individuality and my authenticity and my freedom to choose. No, I choose to be part of this group because partly that goal that everybody wants, I want to myself too. So I have the right to understand it this way, so I can keep feeling my individuality acting in the world while I am also making part, and also sometimes even accepting the leadership of someone else, because I'm not looking to the leadership and not overreacting. Oh, no, I will never follow orders from this kind of guy. It doesn't matter right now. We have to focus in the objective, because the objective is something I want. So this is my real authenticity. Fighting against the leadership of someone else for whatever reason during these 2 weeks, no game in the field like this, right? So I will have some. I will manifest, instead of something that really I want. I'm only going against something. So if I go against something, I'm not following my desire, my real desire to reach that goal. It's simple. Now let's see Jupiter in Taurus. Sorry. What's going on? Sorry. What's going on now? I have to be very attentive to my body. I have to feel myself like incorporating this body and this body. I have to have healthy thoughts about this body. So I will give my pleasure with parsimony, like, I have to be attentive to the real necessities of the body and go a little beyond and give myself pleasure. So I have to be attentive to pleasure. And also, if part of my goals are demanding from me a push forward to go in the direction of something I really want manifested, okay, no problem. But I have to respect my rest. I have to respect the timings or the rhythms of my body, because if I do not do so, I will cause harm in my body during these 2 next weeks, and maybe I could face some consequences later than the next week, right? So attention to this. Then we can also look to Taurus as stability. If I am moving some things, I have to be attentive also to which part of my life, which parts of my life I want to keep stable in order to give me some kind of safety to jump forward in another part. If I do not do so, during these 2 weeks, I will feel unsafe. And if I feel unsafe, it comes with Pluto, it comes with lots of fear. And responding to this fear, I can enter power games to guarantee that I will feel safe during this next month, for example. And if I do that, I can become struggling with the environment. I can become aggressive. I can become manipulative. And what happens with the group? The group like react against me, or the group dissolves itself, because power games usually do this. So these are the objectives that we have to keep in mind, or maybe not objective, but how to deal with our emotions and with our plans, our goals during the next 2 weeks, right? If you pay attention to it, and if you can, and if you feel like able to keep in harmony, even knowing that I could like lose my control or lose the regulation of these energies, or of these emotions, and this the results of losing this regulation and control inside of me, I can step back before it can cause some bad results in my life. But bad results in my life, maybe it's not the same as for yours, because I have a different chart. Everyone has different charts. So one have to look inside, one have to pay attention on what are your goals for this year, and try to keep this harmony, even then other people fail in controlling or regulating their states of mind, right? So this is very important to create this kind of more or less dissociation from my emotions and from what I see outside. Because if I do not dissociate a little from what's going on outside, I will fall in the same trap, right? I can avoid my internal traps of emotion, but I can fail in interacting with the world outside. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to be very, or to be more brief than I usually am. So I think I will finish right now. I will invite you to, again, make comments. And if you like this video, or if you don't like, but if you like this video, if you don't like, you can just state me. You can just comment in the comment area. But if you like it, just follow my channel, ring the bell. You know, I don't need to explain how to do it after all these years. Okay. And if you want to reach me, I will leave my contacts down there in the comment area. And keep on coming. I will enjoy. Bye.